everybody, how is it going? And welcome to another episode of Amps and the Axe FX3. Today we are going to be checking out the all-new PRS Archon. As of firmware 14.01, the Archon has been added to the Axe FX3. Guys, before we jump into checking out the Archon, this is your first time here, or if you've been here before, make sure you are subscribed. I don't want you to miss any of the cool things that we got going on here. So let's dive right into the Archon. So this is brand new, like I was saying before, to the Axe FX3, and we have three different types of Archons, or say three different modes. We have the one we just heard, and that's just the Archon with the bright switch off. We have Archon with the bright switch on, and we just have the Archon clean. Not exactly called the Archon in the Axe FX, called a little bit different name so that no one gets mad, but it is the PRS Archon. IR I'm going to be using is the GGDzilla oversized 412 with some UKV 30s and an SM57. And for the drive, I have the Horizon Devices Precision Drive, and these are some of the settings. And on the Bright Archon, I have a little bit different settings, and I'll show you those there. So let's actually read a little bit about the amp. So this is what it looks like. Everything that I'm going to be talking about today, this is basically from Yex Amp Guide. I'll put a link to that in the description down below if you want to check that out. So a few years ago, PRS actually jumped into the amp game, and the Archon is their high gain amp. They have a few other like little clean amps that you can get, but this is the high gain one. You can get this one in a head, as you see here, or you can get it as a combo. The 2020 lineup, you have a 100 watt and you have a 50 watt model. It uses 6L62s, but you can also get it in EL34. As I was talking about before, the amp itself has a clean channel and it has a lead channel. And in the lead channel, you can have the bright switch on or off. So we actually have all of the modes from it. We have the clean channel, and then we have the bright switch on, and we have the bright switch off. For Cliff, for those who don't know who Cliff is the owner of Fractal Audio. For him to model the clean of a high gain amp, it must really sound good, because on a lot of the amps, Cliff just skips the clean tone because it doesn't sound very good. The guitar I'm going to be using today is going to be my Tom Anderson Cobra with an HC1 pickup in the neck and an HC3 in the bridge. Those are Tom Anderson pickups. So let's check out the clean sound real quick. I'm going to be on the single coil mode on my Anderson. I have to say, this clean channel on here is actually really fantastic. It reminds me a lot of like a Fender. Basically, it's kind of what it reminds me of. And it's also very clean, because I'm going to push up the input drive on it. Yeah, the clean channel, it's very clean. I had to lower the level down because I didn't want to blow everybody's ears out. I mean, you slap some delay and reverb on here, it would sound fantastic. The clean sound from here is really great. It's surprising, because a lot of high gain amps have really bad clean sound, so it's really good to see that it's good here and that it's clean. So EQ wise, I didn't even touch anything, and let's see what I want to see what here we go. It's a 412 Friedman is going to be the impedance curve on here. We don't really have any PRS cabs in the Axe FX itself, so I'm pretty sure the impedance curve isn't exactly isn't modeled for this yet, but that's fine. The Friedman one works fine. Just kind of wanted to see what it was. And that's it. The clean sound is very simple. I literally stayed in authentic tab and dialed things right in. Like I said, no, I didn't touch anything. And speaker-wise, I didn't touch anything either there. So it sounds really good out of the box, just tweaking a little bit knobs a little bit. Now let's move on to the high gain stuff, because you know that's why we're all here. And as I said, I've named this one normal. It's just called Archean in here, and it's basically what I call it, like normal, because it's with the bright switch off. When you get to the high gain channels on here, This amp sort of reminds me of like a 5150 with a little bit of sprinkle of an Ingle, but the mid-range on here is just massive. There's so much of it. It is drier like the Mark series amps, the Mesa Marks. It's a little bit drier because the mid frequency to me, it's kind of pushed up a little bit to like the, say like from the 1K to like 1.5-ish range, somewhere in there. So it is pushed a little bit higher up than would say a 5150, which is kind of like lower mids. But you have plenty of mid content, and that's why I have the mid so low on here. And then when you come to the EQ, I scooped a little bit of it out. Let me let you hear what it sounds like with EQ on and off. And this is a good, you know, like rock / hard rock type of sound in here. It sounds really great, and I'm in standard tuning on my Cobra, and it's really, like I said, it's a really good sound. It's really controlled, but like I said, the mids are very heavy in here. So let me bump up the mids and let you hear what I'm talking about. When you dial in amps, dial them in with your ears, because normally whenever we dial in amps, we like to keep things around noon. It's just kind of like a habit a lot of people have, but just dial it in with your ears. If you think there's too much mid, just crank it, because you know, you might actually have more than what you think, because staging is a little bit different from amp to amp. And I really did not touch anything else at all. Stayed in authentic, cut a little bit of mids out, and that's it. I just kept it very, very simple. So I'm gonna switch guitars to my headless Black Cat, and we are gonna check out the bright switch, or bright switch on, or the Archon bright. Alright, switched my guitars and also put my seat up, because as you saw in the beginning of the video, I slowly moved down. When you get to the Archon bright, or the Archon with the bright switch on, it's a little bit more lively is the best way I can describe it. As you can see, I pulled a lot of the mids out of it there. I'm running the master volume a little bit lower. I just like to do that on my high gain amps. It keeps things a little bit more crisp, a little bit more tight. I got the treble in there. Let me play a little bit, and then I'll talk about the bass. Let me just kind of give you an idea of what it sounds like. So as you can see, it's very, very genty, believe it or not. I hate using that dirty, dirty word, but it is very, very genty. And like I said on the pedal, I moved over to B, and I put a little bit more bright in. That's kind of literally all I did. This does not need any attack. It has plenty of mids, has plenty of attack, so we're plenty fine on that there. Once again, I pulled a lot of the mids out. So whenever you put the bright switch on, I had to pull a little bit of the depth. When I say bright switch, I mean the Archon bright, when, you know, it's the brighter of the two channels. I pulled a little bit of the depth out. By default, the depth's on 3, but I didn't like what it did to the low end. It brought up some of those muddier frequencies, like I guess from like 40 to like 80-ish. I kind of really don't like those frequencies so much. There's a lot of lower ones. Watch, I'll show you what I'm talking about. I hope you're able to hear that, but playing, it brought a lot of them up and I didn't like it, so what I did is I bumped up the bass. But actually, I'll just put the bass to 4. Trying to keep things nice and lively there. Input drive, I left this at 3.5. Let me push it and I'll show you. It's just so much gain. There's just so much gain on here. So you have plenty of gain. I find a nice, good, sweet spot for it is right at 3 o'clock. The mids is the same exact thing. You push them and it's just tons of them. Tons of mids. Scoop some mids out of here, definitely. Let you hear what it sounds like with the EQ on and off. Very mid heavy, very genty. So that's why I pulled a little bit of those mids out of there, clean things up a little bit. Once again, same as before. I did not mess with any really of the other tabs. I mean, if you definitely want to fine tweak things, you can go in here, but I like the sound that I constructed without diving really deep and just staying on the authentic tab. And ladies and gentlemen, that is gonna be it for the PRS Archon. This amp can be a little bit tricky to dial in. Like I said before, it has lots of mids. So whenever you're dialing in, make sure you tweak them to your liking. If you have to pull a lot of them out, don't be afraid to really pull them out, as you saw a lot I did in here. Guys, let me know what you think about the Archon down in the comments down below. Really glad this amp is in the XFX3. Really glad that we're still getting new amps added in. Guys, if you thought this video was cool, leave me a thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it. Guys, thank you so much for checking out the video. I really do appreciate it. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.